Hi, new to BlossomCraft? Welcome! I'm Laura and I'll help you get set up. Step 1. Choosing your server. So your options here are Cherry, Spirit, Tulip and Lotus. The order of these NPCs might change sometimes, so maybe pay attention to that. Or you can right-click this thingy here in your inventory and select here between Cherry, Spirit, Lotus, Tulip again. Now, these servers are functionally identical. So in that regard, for a new player, it doesn't really matter which one you join. But they do have different people on them, and with different people, also different economies. Now personally, I play Tulip, but pick your favorite. You can take a look at all of them if you would like. I'm going here. Now that you've chosen your server, there is a bit of a tutorial here at the start to help you out. Since we're going through that stuff ourselves, I'm just going to ignore it. I'm gonna type WildTP, which takes us to a random location on the map. And we're on a tree. Nice. With this we can find a spot for us to build a base. Now, if you want to get started building, there's a few things to be aware of. You might want to take a look at /rules occasionally. You can see there's like a bunch of rules here. There's also an expanded rule set that is linked a bit incorrectly here, but never mind that. Importantly for right now, if we're trying to build our first base and get started on the server, no building within 100 blocks of other claims. So, how do we find a place that's safe to build? There seems to be something over there, so this might not be the best spot. Personally, I think it's quite helpful to use the server's map to help you find a good location near wherever you are. To do this, you can head over to tulip.blossomcraft.org or replace Tulip with the name of whichever server you chose, so Cherry, Lotus, you know. And from there, we're gonna be able to see what's actually going on here. This is the entire server. And you can find yourself in the list of players. Currently, I'm playing on Unpaid Intern, my alt account I use for streaming. So with this, we can see this is where we are right now. And there's a build here and a build here. But if we look around over here on this island, we're perfectly safe to build, and we can set up camp there. Alright, so we found a place to build in. Now let's make sure we don't lose it. Right here, wherever we want to stand, we can type /set_home, and just set home is fine unless you're already on a higher rank where you unlock multiple homes, in which case you can say, for example, I'm just gonna call it /set_home tutorial. And now, if I want to return to that position, you can do /home, just /home if you only have the one. If you have multiple, /home tutorial, and boop, you're right where you were. So this is an easy way to return to your home. You're never gonna lose it. You can always get back here. Next step, claim some land. You don't want your stuff getting griefed. And when first spawning in, you should have a golden shovel in your inventory. This is great. Golden shovel means claiming. We can right-click, or on mobile, it's whatever you would use to create a path with your shovel, a spot, and then take another location. Let's say over here. And you can see here that it makes some outlines. This is our claim now. In this area, we can do whatever we want, but nobody else can break our stuff or steal anything. So, some important things about this. Your claim has to be at least 10 by 10 blocks. So you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a little bit bigger than that. If I try to make a claim that's too small, boop, this claim would be too small. Any claim must be at least 10 blocks wide. So it's going to complain, it's not going to allow that. This claim here is fine. Where is it? Here. So besides the size, you can change the size later. Just use your claim shovel again on any corner marked by these glowstone blocks. Use it here, and now position this corner somewhere else, like we move it over here. Now a larger area is claimed. Or we want to move this one over there, and it keeps getting larger. You have limited claim blocks at the beginning, but you will get more of those over time. Now claims will prevent anyone from breaking your stuff or interacting with it at all. If you want to give people permission to access your stuff, you can do /access trust and then someone's name. I'm just going to pick whoever is first in the list. So if I want to give this person access trust, what this means is they can open doors and they can interact with redstone. That's it. They can't steal anything, they can't break anything. If I want to give them container trust, with this command, now they can it includes everything from access trust, but they can also open containers, take things out. They are able to steal things now, they still can't break anything. With the complete/trust command, you can give someone complete access to break everything and do essentially everything you can do for the most part. So careful with that command, only trust people who should be trusted, who can be trusted. So with that, you can also use the keyword public if you want to give trust to everyone. Obviously don't do that with build trust ever. Sometimes you don't want people to have access to everything in your claim, but only a specific area within it. What you can do in that case is type /subdivide claim. We still have our claim shovel here, and we can select 2 spots, and now this doesn't have a minimum size. It can even be just a single block here. Now this spot here has its own trust list. So I can say /trust public, and now everyone is able to build in this one block, but not any of the surrounding ones. Make sure to stand in the subclaim while you're doing these commands. Don't accidentally use it on everything else. If you're not sure, /trust list lets you confirm what the permissions are in any specific claim. If I'm standing in the subclaim here, you can see it's public now. Cool. Now that your land is claimed, you will need some materials to build stuff. For this, you can type /wild. It gives you a list of worlds you can teleport to. Now these here are build worlds. These ones are not for gathering resources, they're for building. You have normal, nether, and end. You can teleport anywhere. The resource world, resource nether, and resource world end, these are where you get your resources. So let's type resource world. And as you can see, this here is a spot where you are able and allowed to destroy anything. You can break trees, you can mine stuff, destroy as much as you want. If this world gets too destroyed, if too many resources are gone, a new world is just created. This one gets deleted. Don't leave anything valuable here. It's not protected here. You can't claim anything here. You can see the claim shovels does nothing. You want to be careful with this world. Don't leave stuff here, but destroy it as much as you like. It will be recreated. So now that you had enough materials for your first hut, it is time to get a job. Well, kinda. So the thing is this. For buying and selling things, your first stop will be /PW. Stands for player warp. We can go here, and it's going to give us a list of shops and other useful things. Maybe you want to live in a town or use some public farms and whatever. Let's look at the shop list. You can see here they're listed by the most visits. We have S-Mart, this one's mine. We have PW Cheap, Walmart, Valhalla, Cozy, and so on. There's a bunch. There's actually a lot of player warps. You can visit any of these, do whatever. In these you can buy stuff. Let's say you want to buy some sugarcane. Here, it costs 1 cent. You can punch the sign, type how many you want, and that's how many you get. It's going to cost 10 cents from your balance. Everyone starts out with some money, so you're good at first. Alright, if you're on Bedrock, you may have to hold the button for a moment and not just punch it. Sometimes it won't immediately register. Besides that, you can also buy things on the auction house. To do that, type /AH in chat, and it takes you over here. Now, most of these things for a beginner won't be super useful. You will see a lot of prices you can't afford, like this Evergreen X for 150,000. These are not prices relevant to a beginner necessarily, but they will become relevant to you soon enough. And that's where jobs come in. If you want to buy something and you can't afford it, be it at Player Warps or at the auction house, you need more money. Now, with your starting funds, you probably want to be spending them on some diamond or netherite equipment. Anything that makes it a bit easier for you to progress. You can see here, diamond stuff is pretty cheap. Even netherite stuff is not super expensive, so it's pretty easy to progress in the early game. If we want more money, we're gonna get a job. Literally, there is a /jobs browse command, and it lets you have a bit of an overview of what kind of jobs exist on the server. This is the main source of income for most players. There's digger job, farmer, fisher, florist, hunter, miner, rancher, smither, and woodcutter. Now the thing is, everyone is a miner by default. You can leave the job here if you want. You can see here, in my case, press Q to leave the job, whatever. Don't leave the miner job. My recommendation is stay a miner at the start, because miner is one of the easiest ways to make money early on. And honestly, it stays one of the best ways to make money. You can unlock more jobs later. So for starters, just stick with miner. It'll help you get started. Now the way jobs work is they will largely pay you for essentially what the title says. The miner job is going to pay you for breaking blocks. Jobs info miner. You can see here, you break stone, you get money. You break andesite, you get money. Granite, money. You get much more money if you break certain ores. For example, iron ore here you can see is a lot more money than stone. If you get to rarer ores, here, diamond, a lot more money. The rarer the stuff, the more valuable it tends to be. So that's a good way to make a bunch of money. Now in the early game, you might want to use Silk Touch. The benefit of Silk Touch is it allows you to sell silk ores to people who make more money than you do because they're already a higher job level. The higher your job level, the more income you get. Up to level 101, that's where money caps out. If you are selling stuff, you're not going to gain any levels yourself. So in the early game, it's a good way to make money. Long term, you know, you want to increase your level. So long term, you're going to want to break the stuff yourself and you'll profit eventually. Now to further increase your early game income, type /quests. These are great. These are a great way to increase your money for things you're probably doing already anyway. For example, mining quests. You can select here one for mining 320 stone and you get paid. In addition to your job money, in addition to just gathering resources of stuff you need. All of the usual stuff you're already doing anyway, now is just going to have an additional source of income. You can select some easy ones early on and just increase your money quickly. You also may want to consider voting daily. In fact, you probably should. The reason is this. Voting gains you ranks. Now if we type /ranks here, you can see everyone starts out as a wanderer. You have one home, 5 shops, we're ignoring that. One home, one job. That's the important stuff. At Nomad, you get a second home. At Guardian, you get a second job. That's big. You have 6 homes now, you get 2 jobs. You're set for making money. At Elder, you get 3 jobs, and at Sensei, you can Silk Touch spawners. Very useful. So to vote, all you have to do is type /vote all. Open whichever of these links, ideally all 4 every day. You can copy the link or open it in a browser directly. And it will load into a website like this. Now what you want to do here, you want to enter your Minecraft username exactly, and I mean exactly the way it shows up in chat in the game. So if you are a Java user, this is just your Minecraft account. If you're a Bedrock user, this starts with _. Bedrock users all get a __ prefix on the server. And the last few symbols of your name might be cut off. Pay attention to this. Bedrock names are sometimes too long for the server, so they get shortened automatically. So yeah, type it the way it shows up in BlossomCraft chat. That way you get paid. In my case, I'm currently on unpaid intern. I can do this, I can do that. And vote. There we go. You can see here I actually got lucky. The rewards here are random, but yeah, in my case I got a vote key as reward. You can go to warp crates to use those and get some random stuff. You'll also want to keep an eye out for vote party. You can see here we're currently on 67 out of 150 votes. Once this hits 150, there will be a party where some piñatas spawn. In that case, leave some space in your inventory. Ideally bring a stick, because you can only hit that with your fist or with a stick. Type /piñata in chat, it'll take you here. See here, only with a stick or your fist. And here some piñatas will spawn. You attack them and you get a bunch of loot for it. It's a very good way to get you started on the server if you manage to join a few of those. So now that you've got some money and know where to spend it, you can upgrade your dirt hut to a donut tower. Yeah, that's what you want to build, right? A donut tower, right? You can build something else, but you probably should build a donut tower. Whatever you want to build, let's briefly talk about custom items. If we go to warp crates, you can see here the kind of items that are currently available from crates. There are a bunch of old crates. Hall of Fame, you can see here, bunch of old crates. So all of these crates here, they all have so many custom items. The thing about custom items is they are pretty expensive, the good ones especially, sometimes priced in the millions. In the early game, you probably can't afford them. Unless you spend real life money and gamble for them with crate keys and stuff like that. Ignoring that for now. As a newer player, you won't be able to afford custom items yet, but you want to be able to increase your income as quickly as possible. I recommend vote daily, vote daily, vote daily. If your rank goes up, people will know that you've been around a bit, which also means people will trust you more because they know that you probably won't risk days of progress on trying to run off with their items. Pretty much all of the servers, to my knowledge, have some players that rent out items. For example, we have my rent room here. You can have some of the best custom items in the game, like this Sunbloom pickaxe that breaks blocks in a plus shape and has efficiency 7 and all kinds of things, and you can get access to them for pretty cheap on most servers. So keep a lookout for rent rooms. Rent rooms are fantastic. They help you get started much faster. People probably won't give you access right away because they need some amount of insurance. They need to know that you aren't very likely to just run off with items, so you have to be around for a little bit. But as soon as you manage to get access, this is a fantastic way to get you from earning a few thousand per day to potentially over 1 million per day by grinding minor job or whatever. Anyway, these are some of the more important things to get you started on BlossomCraft. I'd see you in game, or maybe on Twitch, link below. I frequently host giveaways which can let you win some valuable items as well. Bye.